Hi everyone and welcome back to Rough Rider, where every week I talk writing, self-publishing, and living in a barely literate society. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little controversial here. It's my first opinion piece that I've ever put up, so we'll see how it goes. This week's subject is J.K. Rowling. So J.K. Rowling's getting a lot of flack right now online for some things that she has said. Basically, she's made a lot of people mad. She's been talking about transgender issues lately, and her opinion is not something that people seem to want to hear. Basically, people are calling her a bigot, they're calling her a TERF, they're saying all sorts of things about her. So I'm going to be defending J.K. Rowling today. And really, I'm not defending what she's saying because I don't personally care either way. So it's not the content of what she's saying that I'm going to be defending here, but I am going to be defending her as the writer. So this is my take as an author on what's going on here, because I think that maybe it doesn't seem on the surface like this would affect other people, like other writers, but I really think it does. And I think this is something that people should be kind of worried about. So yeah, her fan base is in a frenzy right now. A lot of the people who used to be Harry Potter fans have suddenly decided that they need to leave the fandom. Evidently, a lot of these Harry Potter fans fall into that social justice crowd, and those aren't really the kinds of people that like to hear differing opinions, so none of this really surprises me. But here's the issue that I have, at least as an author. It seems like one of the biggest problems you're going to face as a creative person, whether it's writing or anything else, is that people are going to have a really hard time separating an artist from their work. People aren't going to judge your work just based on its own merit. They're also going to factor in their opinion of you as a person. So it really doesn't matter if your novel is well written, if like the characters are really interesting, if the plot is compelling, none of that matters. All that matters is that you pass these people's moral purity tests and you fall in line with the kinds of things that they demand of you. If you don't, or if they perceive you as some sort of ideological enemy, then they're likely to judge your work that way also, even if it has nothing to do with these kinds of issues. You could have the most apolitical story, no preachy message, and they still will just look at the stuff that you say in your personal life or online and judge your book based on that. So yeah, the literary value of your book ends up being irrelevant. If they view you as trash as a person, then they're going to view your book as trash too. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people who would consider themselves to be avid readers tend to fall on that side of the political aisle. And because of that, they're very intolerant of other opinions. I know that they would probably say, oh, well, J.K. Rowling is intolerant, therefore it's acceptable to speak out against this and be intolerant of intolerance, I guess. But I don't think that even really matters here. The issue I take is that they're equating the book with the author, and if they hate the author, then they're going to hate the book. And they'll do this even if they previously worshipped this author's work. These are Harry Potter fans. Harry Potter fans are like a different breed. They go all out with their fandom. But even having loved this and being such diehard fans, they've turned their backs on it completely the second they found out that J.K. Rowling either espouses beliefs that they don't agree with, or she's some kind of person that they didn't think that she was. I just don't think it should matter if you found out that J.K. Rowling is in fact a TERF. It doesn't matter if she's a TERF or not. Her book was good before. It's still going to be good regardless of the opinions that you found out later on. I just don't see any reason to throw these books away. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if J.K. Rowling's views are correct or not, or even if they're moral or not. I personally don't care. I don't think that anything she said really equates to violence or anything like that. But yeah, so it doesn't matter what she's saying. I don't even really think that's the issue here. The thing that I think is the problem is that, she has every right to say whatever she wants to say. You might think it's tasteless, or maybe you would go so far as to say that it's bigoted. But if she's not calling for open violence against other people, then I don't really see how you could ever make a legitimate argument that she should be silenced from saying this. I don't like it when a fan base tries to influence the artist like that, tries to tell them you can only say or write certain things. I don't think that fans really should be dictating to the artist what it is that they want them to say, what it is they want them to write, anything like that. I don't think that that's their business. I think that the creative person is the one who creates. They can create whatever they damn well please. And having said that, I don't think that people have the right to bully someone into compliance with them. Maybe J.K. Rowling never really wrote about anything like this in the Harry Potter books, but didn't she write some novel about someone who gets a mob of cancel culture people coming after them? Obviously, she is starting to use this as creative material. But, I just don't think that people really can tell her what it is that she can and can't do, say or can't say. And the people who are saying this to her really aren't doing doing their side any favors, because if you look at all of the, like she'll post what hate messages she's got or what hate mail she's gotten, and the stuff they say is like horrific, and nothing that she's ever said has even come close to that. They're talking about how they want to kill her, how they want to, sexually violate her, like they're gonna dismember her, like crazy stuff. I don't know why you would ever feel compelled to start talking to someone that way. Yeah, it just makes them look bad. So I don't know why they decided to do that, especially knowing that she's going to publicly say something about it. But, I don't think this is going to ruin J.K. Rowling's career. She doesn't seem like she can be easily canceled. Like, what's going on with her right now just reminds me of, like, Obi-Wan being cut down by, like, Darth Vader, and before he gets killed, he's like, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Like, that's J.K. Rowling right now. Like, the more attention she gets, even if it's negative attention, the more support she's getting from the other side. So you can't get rid of her. She doesn't need anyone to buy her books anymore. She's got more money than God. So even, like, let's say they did destroy her career, she never got another book deal again, doesn't matter. She's still rich. She's still got her castle in England. She doesn't give a crap about any of that. She's fine. Like, she can retire today and never have to worry about anything ever again. The thing that worries me, though, is if she was a smaller author, she would not be able to survive the onslaught that she's getting. Financially, they're going to suffer. And when that's your livelihood and you depend entirely on book reviews and book sales to actually make a living, especially in like the early stages of your writing career, when you really need this is really important. It scares me to think that if you say anything, even outside of your books, it's not in your books, like this is something you say on social media or in your personal life, freaks me out to think that you need to actually like police your own speech there for fear of having people come after you and not just say like, oh, you are an intolerant person, you are you're this or that, but to say like, you're this, therefore your books are trash too. Let's get everyone to be against them. Let's, leave nasty reviews and say it's trash. Like that's not good. Like, you could lose everything just for having one unpopular opinion. And it's getting harder and harder to keep track of what is considered acceptable because it seems to be changing every day. It seems like there's no room for diversity of thought or diversity of opinion anymore. It's either you get in line or get out. So I guess this is the point I'm trying to make. Writing is expression put into action. And when freedom of expression is limited, the literary world is going to be the first to suffer. It's not just writers though. Like, artists aren't immune, musicians aren't immune, directors aren't immune. Anyone who relies on their own creativity to make a living is in danger here. I just think that free speech is like the true mark of an open society. And when that gets policed, whether it's by the state or by it's just a mob of people on Twitter, then you might as well just start criminalizing creativity itself. J.K. Rowling isn't the first creative person to experience this, and she's not going to be the last. If they came for her, they could come for you next. And I just think that that's something that every writer should be concerned about. So again, it doesn't matter what she's saying. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. There's an underlying principle here that I think is the real issue, and people don't seem to be focusing on it as much as I think they should be, especially the people who are in the writing community, who are in the literary community. They're very quick to just jump on criticizing what it is she's saying without really thinking about the larger implications of what they're doing. So yeah, that's my defense of J.K. Rowling. Guess I'm not really defending her viewpoints. I'm just defending the fact that she does personally have a right to say them without having to worry about her own fan base coming after her and trying to ruin her career. Because again, if she was a smaller author, if she was starting out and she said something like this and generated this much controversy, she might lose the audience she had been targeting, and then that's going to affect her book sales, it's going to affect the reviews she gets, and ultimately it's going to affect her chance at success in the writing world. So I feel like a lot of people will disagree with this. That's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me, just like I am allowed to disagree with you. But anyway, I'll get back to educational content next week, I promise. I just wanted to give my opinion on this for once. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next week for something more informative. If you found this interesting, or if you agree with me, or if you are a defender of free speech and freedom of expression, then please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. And as always, thank you for watching. God bless.